Chapter 23, Sakra, the superior position of Bodhisattvas. At that time, Sakra, chief of the gods, was seated amid that assembly, and said, "To be sure, deep is this perfection of wisdom, hard to see, hard to understand." The Lord said, "So it is, Kausika. With the depth of space is this perfect wisdom deep. As isolated, it is hard to see. As empty, it is hard to understand." Sakra said, "Those beings who hear this perfection of wisdom, take it up, study, spread, and write it, must be endowed with more than a puny wholesome root." The Lord said, "So it is. If all the beings in Jambudvipa were endowed with the ability to observe the 10 ways of wholesome action, would they on the strength of that beget much merit?" Sakra said, "They would, O Lord." The Lord said, "A person who hears, studies, spreads, and writes this perfection of wisdom begets greater merit than they. The just mentioned heap of merit, due to the morality of all beings in Jambudvipa, is infinitesimal compared with the heap of merit which is due to the wholesome root of someone who hears, studies, spreads, and writes this deep perfection of wisdom." Thereupon a monk said to Sakra, chief of gods, "You have been surpassed, Kausika, by that person who hears, studies, spreads, and writes this deep perfection of wisdom." Sakra said, "I am even surpassed by that son or daughter of good family who has raised but one single thought to enlightenment. How much more so if, in addition, they train in thusness, progress to it, make endeavors about it. On their journey, they surpass the whole world with its gods, men, and asuras. On their journey, they not only surpass the world with its god, men, and asuras, but also all the stream winners, once returners, never returners, arhats, and pratyekabuddhas. They surpass also those bodhisattvas who are great almsgivers, but lack in perfect wisdom and skill in means. And equally, those whose morality is perfectly pure, who possess a vast quantity of morality, whose observation of the moral rules is unbroken, flawless, unstained, complete, perfectly pure, and unspotted, but who lack in perfect wisdom and skill in means. And equally those who have won patience and peaceful calm, whose thoughts are free from hostility, who feel no thought of malice even when burned at the stake, but who lack in perfect wisdom and skill in means. And equally those who have exerted vigor, who persist in trying, who are free from sloth, and remain uncowed in all they do with body, voice, and mind, but who lack in perfect wisdom and skill in means. And equally those who are fond of the trances and delight in them, who are strong and powerful in the trances, who are established in the trances, who are masters of the trances, but who lack in perfect wisdom and skill in means. For when he or she courses in the perfection of wisdom as it has been expounded, a bodhisattva surpasses the world with its gods, men, and asuras, surpasses all those who belong to the vehicle of the disciples and pratyekabuddhas, surpasses also the bodhisattvas who are not skilled in means, and they cannot surpass him. For a bodhisattva who courses in the perfection of wisdom as it has been expounded, who complies with it, has taken up his position so that the lineage of the all-knowing should not be interrupted, and he or she does not keep aloof from the Tathagatas. His or her journey will, when he or she progresses in this way, shortly bring him or her to the terrace of enlightenment. He or she will, training him or herself in this way, rescue the beings who have sunk into the mud of the defilements. Training in this way, he or she trains in the training of a bodhisattva, and not in the training of a disciple or pratyekabuddha. Rewards of perfect wisdom. And the four great kings, the world guardians, will come to the Bodhisattva who trains in this way in the perfection of wisdom. And they will say to him, "Train yourself quickly in this course of a Bodhisattva, son or daughter of a good family. Nimbly train yourself. Here are the 4 begging bowls which you shall receive when you are seated on the terrace of enlightenment, as one who then has won full enlightenment." Not only will the 4 guardians come to the Bodhisattva who trains in perfect wisdom, as it has been expounded, but I also, not to mention the other gods. Constantly also the Tathagatas will bring him to mind. All the worldly ills that might befall the Bodhisattva who courses in perfect wisdom, such as attacks from others, etc., shall be prevented from affecting him in any way. This also, O Lord, is a quality which a Bodhisattva who courses in perfect wisdom gains in this very life. Ananda thereupon thought, "Is this speech by Sakra, chief of gods, due to his own insight or to the Buddha's might?" Sakra, through the Buddha's might, read his thoughts and said, "To the Buddha's might, Ananda, to the Buddha's sustaining power should this be attributed, for I myself am quite incapable of uttering anything relevant on the subject of bodhisattvas." The Lord said, "So it is, Ananda. What Sakra, chief of gods, has said was due to the Tathagata's might, to his sustaining power."